Okay, guys, I want to do an update on stock KULR as yeah, we went right past my EMA 20. I made a video about this and I was like, yeah, I think this area can hold, and it did not. And this is one of those situations where you have to have a plan B. Not everything in trading is perfect. I love this company, all right? I really do. I think the fundamentals are a whole lot better than most sub $5 stocks. But we had this big upper Keltner channel hit. This is my Keltner channel. Price can't be sustained here. A lot of times, this is where the algos look to short it. And where does price come back down to is these EMAs, okay? So we went down to the EMA 5, we pump up. We go back to the EMA 5, we pump up. But you got to understand is we're going to break through these levels here and there as the market got weak today. So we hit the 10 here, we pumped up, and then we hit it again. And that's when it's very bearish because if we come here, pump, and then immediately come back down, it's probably wanting to go to the 20. Right in here was a deciding factor. I think this was not a bad idea to buy here. I see many times where price hits this and we go up pretty drastically, right? Just from here, this just easy 10%, right? All you needed was a 3.08 from 280s. That is not a hard thing to do. So what I'd like to do is you can do one or two things. I personally would stop out around 12% down here. It gives it a little wiggle room, and it went down there. Unfortunately, it went all the way actually to 229. So if I see this big of a move down from there, sure, it could go right back up. If you are investing in this, then sure, it don't matter. Then wait for the EMA 50. So I have two areas of interest, right? The EMA 20 and then the 50. But the problem is, if we go down to the 50, that's quite a big of a move down. Look at this from the 20 all the way to the 50. That's a 30% drop. That's quite a big size down. So what I can do is I can stop out at a decent stop loss, which is 12%, and I can make that back on another play. For example, one of the plays that I alerted was DATS. Same type of scenario, right? We hit this big upper band here. We know it's very bullish. We come back down to the area of interest, which is the EMAs. I like to look for the EMA 10 and below. And when you see this big move here and you go down to very fast to the next EMA, this is your dead cat bounce. And look at that. You make your 150%. KULR has been making big, massive moves, right? It's been on this uptrend for a while. As you can see right up in here, we hit this upper band just like in DATS. We hit this 10, and then we pump up, and then you play those next levels, right? And then look at this next move. So it doesn't surprise me, look at this example. We go all the way above, just like that. So we go back down, and then look at this nice bounce. So it doesn't have to work all the time, but it just tells me like, okay, we made such a massive move that maybe it just wants to hit this EMA 50 and then continue, right? I do think, that's going to be the next level as we hit this 20 and we kind of broke down some. Can it just shoot back up and do a false breakout? Absolutely. But I gave it plenty of wiggle room where, if I kept holding this on from here to this would be going on 20% stop loss, right? At 17%. I'd like to do kind of like halfway between the EMA 20 and 50 for a stop loss. That gives me a good rule of thumb. And then basically what I do is if you stop out, play another stock, wait till this comes back to the 50, and then get a much better entry. Like this, the entry right here is 280. You can get $1 off your entry right down in here. So that's kind of how I'm looking at KULR. I like the company. I think it's very bullish. It's really nice. It's just the market's just been very bad this week, right? So I have to look at more overextended patterns. I love the EMA 50 that it's at the very bottom. So a lot of the times that in this market, I have been taking more EMA 50 plays, right? But if it's like in a scenario like that, where it's this far above, like it went this far above, it went from $9 to $3 in a blink of a second. This EMA is probably going to act as good support. And we saw that with KULR many times where we hit this upper band and we came back down to these EMA 10s, and that's where you really get those big pumps, right? That EMA 10 is a very golden level where a lot of institutions are watching, right? You hit here, come back to the 10, and you got that massive pump up in here. I do think the EMA 50 is due now. As you can see, we haven't touched it since way back in November. So maybe it wants to come back and touch this EMA 50 area. And that's really the thesis that I like to do. I have a very unique system of doing these kind of things. I don't want to just play each EMA. If I take a loss on an EMA then I try to take a break from this stock, right? And look for like the big major support zone, right? So if I took it on the 10, right? The 10 worked actually beautiful, right? We had nice bounces here. I always look for 10% gains, okay? So you won here on the 10, right? It went down a little more, but you won here on this first touch here. You played here and it bounces. But if it's actually really close to your next level, you can just say, hey, I'll buy it on the EMA 20, and if it does go a little under it, my stop loss is just under it, right? And then you'll be done with it. If it doesn't work, like if it just goes through the 10, the 20, and then it's 50, that's just too much loss. So there's different ways to play it. But if you're an investor, you buy it on the 20 and you buy it on the 50. That's not a bad idea, right? And if you want to hold it longer term, as I do think we can get back up to these areas, but it's going to take some time. This market has this stock pumped a lot. It's due for a correction. It doesn't mean this is absolutely bearish at all. It's just coming back down to a correction area, and you can see that with a lot of this big stuff. Like SPY today went down a lot today, right? We went down roughly 1.5. But if you look at the long term, this works with any stocks, guys. What is the areas of interest on the longer terms? SPY hit the 20, it jumped up on the weekly. SPY hit the 20, it went down almost to the 50, but it did a false breakout, which KULR could do a pattern like this. Pumped up, goes back, pumps up, hits the 10, pumps up. And that's the pattern what we're getting here. When I'm looking at KUR on the weekly here too, I'm actually looking at some kind of high value of interest. So we have a high value at 2.12. The EMA 50 is at 1.86. I don't mind looking at this area here on the weekly. The weekly tells me, okay, this is definitely very bullish, right? You have a trend line somewhere in this area where you have this move going up. You have the drops, the dips getting bought back up. Somewhere in this area, I can see this EMA 10 holding very nicely on a weekly time frame. Okay, and then I like to look at the daily to see what's coordinated with it. We have the EMA 50. The EMA 50 is a little cheaper. It's at 1.88, so I can say the EMA 50 will give me a better price. The EMA 10 on the weekly is 2.12. So what I could possibly do is buy it at 2.12. It is going to fluctuate, but this is a weekly, so we'll stay here the rest of the week. And then I can look at to buy at the daily too. So I can average it on the weekly and in the daily, and then have a clear about. Usually for me, if you're down 15%, then you got the stock wrong. Okay, that's a good rule of thumb. If you're down 15%, then you just had it wrong, and that happens. Okay, KULR, I love this opportunity. It just kind of sucks we broke through the 20, but there's always another play. Like I said, I learned many stocks in my Discord. If you guys want to join the premium Discord and how to recover and look at many plays, click the link down below in YouTube comments below, and in the description it'll say join the premium Discord for my alerts system. It'll take you to this free chat landing page. This does not mean you're a subscriber yet. If you want to become a member, hit day trade alerts right here under subscriptions, and you'll get access to my day trades and swing trades for $12 a month. And then it'll be that same price forever, and you're going to get access to day trades, swing trades alerted to your phone, along with the education of why I take the trades, and then the live streams that I do pretty much every day, and one-on-one mentorship. If you look at the server shop up in here, you can read about the two services. I highly recommend the Day Swing Trading Plus, just so you actively can day trade, do something every day. And then what I do, me personally, is I use my day trading money and I put it into my swing trades. Okay, so and that's really what I like to do. So for $12 a month, you're going to get a highly valued over 90% strategy, probability strategy that works. And this is my strategy with trading with the trend. And as you can see, it worked many and many, many times, right? We kept bouncing and bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. And yes, you're going to get some chances that it just breaks through that EMA without any bounce, and that's totally fine. That's the first time this stock has done it without hundreds and hundreds of bounces. But you got to realize this is a key level. We've never touched this EMA 50. This level is so important, right? And then we got the weekly EMA 10 that's so important. I can easily see this level hitting. So I'm going to correlate it with the weekly EMA 10 with the daily here, and I'm going to expect a pretty nice bounce on this, okay? If you guys want to join the Discord, you know where to find me. Click the link down below in YouTube comments below. Hope to see you guys in there. If not, no problem. But I'm going to be coming into next week. We got lots of trades. I alert all my trades in the day trade alerts and swing trade alerts with exact images of stocks that you probably you know, I spend lots of time researching that, you know, with clear images like this one. I circled why I like about it: long lower wick, paid in the EMA 50 with an upper band touch, and we make money on plays like this. This was the DATS that was called before it even happened. As you can see, Lays was called right here. It made over 70%. This was QBTS, made over 30% right in here. And then this one was called KUR, but that didn't work out. But we had over 5 trades that did. Here was DAT's idea. This one ran over 170% from the entry that we called it in the Discord, and it went up massive. And that's why. And these are before the move happens, and that's the key thing about trading. All right, guys. Hope you guys like this video. Give a like, subscribe, comment. I'll be looking for KULR on the EMA 50 now. Peace out and happy trading.